Arrendor is on the brink of upheaval. For centuries, the clan struggled against giants until 400 years ago, when dragons crossed the Great Sea, forcing them to unite and build the 10 Bastions. As the threat faded, the clans fractured into the 10 Kingdoms, and all but the last Bastion were abandoned. As ancient calamities stir and darkness rises in the east, my 4 champions must rise up to unite the kingdoms, restore the Bastions, uncover their secrets, and stand against this darkness as a declaration of war.
Calagon Dör. I will discover the secrets of my lineage and cement my legacy as one of the greatest adventurers of all time.
Please steer in here. The migration of the dragons forced the migration of peoples and beasts, which brings death. We're all invasive species now. I won't let us become extinct ones.
The name's Rodrick Elwood, the voice of this generation, and the greatest performer in lore. Oh, and you should see me with a bow.
And I, Arlyn Dursalai, searching for my father's sword, Trident, to bring justice to these lands. Together, we are the Four Horsemen.
And this is Divine Inspiration.
Hello and welcome back, as always, beautiful people, to the first ever pre-recorded session. You see,
it's still live though.
well, I mean, it's like a,
but it's not
we're
live
still
to
like
you.
It's live in part, but hey, that's all right. We have a lot going on over here. It's very exciting for us, as it is election night for us. So we're kind of just making sure that everything runs smoothly here, and hopefully just having things recorded works out perfectly still. Everybody is definitely on edge, and we're very excited to be here with you all. So guys, please get comfortable, get cozy, gather around, and enjoy as we look forward to telling stories with you of legend by Divine Inspiration. Now, last week in particular, we had one of my absolute favorite sessions so far, where we had an improv song created in the middle of our session. We had to deal with the first major retreat of our party, and we got to meet some new creatures. Our party, having ventured into Rungar's previous home, was able to find a series of slain orcs as well as humans. And after kind of going through and making sure to scavenge what they needed and pick apart what they didn't, they were able to bolster the walls as they saw a horde of orcs, of goblins and of hobgoblins. And so, kind of hunkering down in the orc village, they found themselves pressed with one of two decisions. Either stay and fight, or leave. They ultimately decided that they wanted to stay and fight, pushing a massive ogre body against the door and just fortifying to the best of their ability. They gathered different jugs of oil, they gathered up weapons that were new to some of them, even I believe a sling, bows, swords, all sorts of things. And eventually, after having been face to face with these unusual red scaled goblins and hobgoblins, our party decided that they wanted to change pace just a little bit. They instead decided to put on the performance of a lifetime, where Rodrick, Cleave, and the gang decided that they would put forward some explosive displays using a series of illusions of different spices they had found around the area, and their own great performances as they themselves decided to vanish amongst flames, lighting this entire fortress ablaze and vanishing into the sands once more. And that is where we will pick up today. As the sun overhead is starting to fall, and you note that the light is just vanishing slowly but surely. It is not yet nighttime for you all, but you have recently heard from Rumgar's lips that nighttime isn't a great time to be out in the sands of the desert, as certain creatures find their way out and seem to have a grand old time scavenging for whatever they can find, both dead or alive. And
Rumgar, where should we go? Do you know any spot around? We need shelter. We need safety.
Cave?
Cave.
Which cave?
He's right and wrong. I don't know.
It just seems wrong.
Cave seems...
Cave seems like...
Open's not much better.
But it seems like it's going backwards.
Is there anything else besides caves?
I think there is water. Water?
Water. Where?
Water would be good.
Water.
We're in the middle of a desert. Where do you see water?
I don't know. I saw water when we came.
and he kind of points back to the burning stronghold behind you. It's like,
it's
Rumgar,
long time.
The fate of our lives is in your hands. For the love of all, protect!
Rumgar is a baby.
That's a little too much to put on his shoulders.
Quite a
and he
lot.
takes his father's paddle in hand and kind of just like gripping between the gnarled, like bony looking toothy protrusions from the sides of this paddle. He just kind of starts like digging down almost instinctively into the sand, and he just
Hide?
Hide.
There
Didn't you
is
say the spiders
value
come
there.
out from under the sand?
Uh-huh.
So you want to join them?
We don't have this kind of time.
Barry,
Barry,
You know what? Maybe...
show us
Yes.
where there's shelter. And I throw Barry up into the sky.
We have to keep moving either way.
Yes,
if we don't
do.
keep just moving forward, if they find our tracks, they're not far
Yes.
behind. It's all sand.
What
Okay.
do we see from where we're at?
currently just many miles of sand dunes and a burning stronghold behind you. You recognize from having previously seen through Barry that there are 3 points of interest immediately, not necessarily close by, but within a certain range that you think you could get there safely and kind of with relative safety get away from the potential pursuit, if you will, the pursuers.
And those are the cave, the telescope.
So there is a kind of a flat ground where you'd previously been, where
Yeah.
you guys ran off in fear of potential spiders after Rumgar broke that news to you all. There were these kind of like hardened, almost open-facing tunnels of sorts, but it's more
Pass.
like a valley.
Pass.
Where
Pass.
fair
What
enough.
else? What's the next one?
And then the third one was the kind of little desert observatory of sorts.
Observatory meaning like
As in the platform with a
It
telescope.
was just kind of it was just a platform with a telescope, essentially.
And it's also like right next to
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
pretty
right next to
darn
the
close,
goblin.
too.
So the closest trees are where we left when we left the...
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How far are we
Beyond
from there?
that, it would be a
days.
couple of hours based on how you guys are traveling currently.
And we know...
Maybe we should run, even though it's nighttime,
Yes.
and get to the forest.
Thankfully for me, I'm much faster when I haven't slept.
Guys, do you not remember Rumgar was trapped in a cave where there were spiders? That cave was where we're trying to go to. So we're going to go on the same
No, we're
path.
not trying to go to that cave. We're trying to head towards the forest.
Which is towards the cave where the spiders came from, where we got Rumgar.
Well, I'm not sure. The cave was just one location. The forest spans the whole side of the desert, if I'm correct.
Generally, there is the mountain range that kind of protects Manshire from the rest of the nation, and following along the northern side of that is this this thickened tree line that extends pretty darn far.
But we got to go through a bunch of open desert to get there.
Yes.
I don't see any other choice until Barry comes back. What do you guys
That's all
think?
we have.
That's all we can do.
Okay.
That's all the
Alright.
information
But if
that
we
we've
start
been
now, then
acquired.
perhaps we can reach there by nightfall.
And I'm assuming if Barry sees any creatures, he'll come back and let me know.
Yes.
You still hear from afar just the crackling of flames and the light of goblins
Let's go.
just cackling. All right. Now,
Lead
I
the
would
way.
like you all to determine the pace that you will be taking through the desert currently. Are you guys going to slow it down and try to make sure that you guys are as safe as possible? Are you going to take a moderate pace and kind of generally be able to gauge what's going on around you? Or would you like to just book it
Unless
straight
we've
to...
been running for at least like half an hour without knowing that they're behind us, I would like to book it.
I think we should book it for a bit. Yeah, at least another.
Book it until they're out of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of sight and you can't hear them.
Over the
we can still hear
horizon.
'em.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You gotta get at least like 2 miles away.
Yeah, behind trees.
There's no tree.
I know, that's
Sound-
how far.
uh,
That's how far I want to book it.
Looks like we're
All
safe,
the way to the
boys.
forest.
I always roll and you guys are always safe for some reason.
Yes!
I don't know what's going on, but
The
my dice
dice
like you
like
guys.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dice are biased. Well,
We run!
trekking through the desert sands, unusually red for what you guys are accustomed to reading about and even seeing for some of you who have gone and adventured beyond Manshire. These sands are notably scalding, but slowly getting a little bit cooler as night starts to take in. Over the next hour of just running, just trying your best to stay on top of these sands as they're slowly weighing you down, you start to feel it now in your chests as kind of need to take a brief pause, knowing that any further of just full sprint is going to start tiring you all out. But it is certainly an option. Would you guys like to continue on in pace as you see Barry slowly following back in pursuit from behind? Would you like to take a moment of pause or otherwise?
Guys, I gotta take a breath. I can't keep going.
All right, just
There's Barry.
look back. As long as we're not being tracked.
I think as long as we're safe, maybe we should rest. We could dig our bodies into the sand, leave our heads exposed.
What?
No,
Rodrick.
nobody messes with random heads.
What?
Might work for the people. I'd be worried about the spiders, but it's a good thought. It's a good start.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Barry's coming anyway. I see him.
Well, let's see.
And
And
Any news?
lands.
what you got, boy?
And as he kind of looks your way, he seemed to primarily encircle around where you guys had been previously, where there weren't much other than a few small outlier city, or rather more so villages, that seem to be kind of way further in the opposite direction within the desert itself. Beyond that, the same kind of seems to be standardized as to what you've seen thus far from the current stretch, at least.
So do I see where the closest tree line area is?
From what Barry has seen up until this point, the closest tree line would be back towards Manshire, where you guys had previously come from.
That's where we're heading to, right?
Yep.
So, okay. And Barry isn't giving me any more information than we already know. The tree line that we're heading towards is the closest shelter.
Well, trees are our shelter.
If you just take a few hours, I think it might be worth it.
Worth it
We
to
might
just
have to just
get
run.
there.
Yeah, just
I
go.
agree.
You feel Barry kind of like start clenching at your forearm for a second as he kind of like crawls over and leans towards you. And as he does so, you now get one final kind of message from him as you feel fear. And you can tell that it's very similar to the pursuit that he had felt previously from those hobgoblins.
Oh, Barry's acting weird. What's wrong, boy?
And you see this same flash that you had seen of this general depiction, but of just the hobgoblin second in command, at least, that it seemed to be, just walking through the sands, watching Barry.
They saw him.
They saw him in the sky.
They saw him. The leader, or one of the big.
Is it the one that spoke?
And it was.
It was.
But they never saw him before. They don't know that he's associated with us.
Barry?
Yes.
But they did.
Barry's.
They did.
He's
They tried
terrified.
to shoot him down the first time that we sent him out.
Yes, but they didn't know we sent him out. For all they know, we were a goblin army, capable of setting our own home ablaze.
If he knows war, he knows a scout when he sees one. I don't feel safe sending. I was gonna have him stay up and mine the space for us, but
It always gives our location if we do.
I think it's best if he stays with me. What are we gonna do?
We should continue on. I don't think it's time to rest if
Do we have
we
to
are
run
being
though?
pursued.
Also, what did he see? Did he just see the one goblin? Because if it's just one, I think we could probably take him. I could disguise myself as a goblin again. I doubt he'll mess with me
Might be worth
twice.
it to have him keep looking. Then, if he starts tracking us, even if it takes him a little longer, they're mounted. We'd have to run.
I
I
forgot the
have one
mountain.
idea, but I don't like it. What if I send Barry in an opposite direction and tell him to meet us? He can fly one direction, go far enough to where it throws them off our trail. He can go quick enough to circle back without seeing and meet us at the tree line.
Yes, but can you guarantee they won't shoot him out of the sky?
No. I said I don't
You
like
would
it.
risk your son.
He's not my son, but if they find us, he's dead anyway. I trust him to stay far enough away from danger. But if we can get him off our trail, then at least we don't have to worry about the enemies behind us.
Well, if
just the ones in
he's got to
front.
do it as soon as possible. If you're willing,
Do you
to
think
take
it's
the
a good
chance.
idea?
I know that if we want to do this, it has to be before they take notice of fleeing footprints.
Yes.
That it has to be now.
Is there a way to perhaps erase our footprints?
Not the ones from when we were running here. What are we going to do? Go back and start dusting the sand?
I think Cleave is pretty good at blowing wind,
I could have done
But-
that.
but it's not too late.
It's not.
Let me
We still
send
have a way to
Barry.
go.
Let me send Barry. We'll get him off our trail. We'll cover our trail from this point.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm gonna
Maybe
hold Barry up.
Maybe we. Well, we'll keep moving. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna hold Barry up. Listen, boy. I'm gonna need you to fly as far that way as you can. Stay out of distance from anyone around you. And then once you get far enough away to where they can't see you anymore, I need you to circle back and meet me where
At the tree line.
where we met Rumgar
Yes, at the tree line by the cave.
at the tree line by the cave. All right, buddy? Stay safe.
His head just kind of digs down into you before taking off.
Calagon,
Toss him away.
he's gone and you didn't say I love you.
He knows. I don't have to tell him.
What if he never hears those words?
Rodrick, let's go. Lead the way.
All right, let's run. And so I start running.
Right.
Having-
So go ahead. If you see them, and they do follow our tracks, I say we hook back around. It's just something that I'm just suggesting now, far enough away that they don't see us. But we have to. If they're led this way, we're better off going that way.
Yes, definitely. And please blow the sand behind us, just to
I
make
won't
sure
stop
that
for
we
anything.
mark off our trail.
Worst come to
It'll slow us
worst.
down a bit, but
Worst come to us, we always have Plan C.
Which is Rodrick.
We dig our bodies in the sand and leave our heads exposed.
worst comes to worst.
Uh-huh.
Worst comes to us.
Okay.
How are you so useful and so not useful at the same time?
Literally in the same day.
This is not my
You
forte.
have the best plan and the worst plan
It's
put
sort of the
together
same
in one.
sort of idea. He just
no audience here.
He
What
just-
am I supposed to do with this?
sometimes if it isn't broke, you don't fix it. You know, his corpses confuse people.
Yes, they do.
That's his
They
idea.
confused us back
if
there.
it looks
in
like a
the-
dead body's head, disembodied head. It's his move. Everybody's gonna have a signature thing.
Disappointing.
I wrangle lizards and he uses corpses. Everybody's got a thing, Rodrick. I understand.
I'm just saying, they might try to kick one of us.
Yeah, it could happen.
But it's a risk
That could
we're
hurt.
willing to take. And also, I could do this. And I grab my hair and I put it over the front, so it just kind of looks like a mop over my face. They won't know what it is.
You know, an ever-flowing stream of mist would be really hard to miss.
You look like a geyser.
Could we just?
I'm a geyser.
If we built, if
You
we
look like
built
an
a hole,
underwater.
under sand, buried geyser.
That's a callback to.
if we built a hole and sat in it, couldn't you just make it look like the sand just goes over our heads?
Oh.
We're not burying ourselves. Can we
No,
stop
but
Let's
this?
run,
We
please, gentlemen.
have to actually bury ourselves. It's all right.
That's how we run.
Group survival check for me, and Cleave afterwards. Let me get a stealth check from you.
That's crazy, but fitting. It's fitting. What do you think I
That's actually
rolled?
good news.
It's fitting.
Nat
Is it gonna be a
one.
one? Yeah, I feel like this.
It's a nat one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This
I
isn't
did good.
my forte.
Okay.
21.
21.
Hey,
Good way
I
to
think
offset
also
that.
21.
21.
Yeah, me too. No way. 321, 21, 21, 21.
At least let's go. I'm
Wow.
I'm at a 4.
It's not a wholesome video, but I do love that. Yeah, it's just the
That's a
vine.
real throwback.
But he did say group survival check, so I hope we're supposed to meet.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Yeah.
All right, and
What about-
Cleave, your stealth check for me.
I'm nervous because the first one was so good. Well, we all got
Wait,
21.
stealth?
Yeah, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I
Survival
just-
and stealth?
Just for Cleave, because he's the one covering up your tracks.
Ooh.
You may use your
Can
spellcasting
my-
modifier.
Yeah, thank
may
you.
use your
That's a
spellcasting
little
modifier.
better. Not a whole lot. 4.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Cleave.
Don't feel bad about
Very
the
good.
full. It's
Very
a good
good.
roll. It's a good roll.
I had rolled a 2.
Woo-wee. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, you're doing your thing the whole way through, and it's kind of a nuisance to try to track as you're stepping foot backwards. But you recognize that as they start to speed up behind you, you have to kind of start blowing different gusts of wind to the left and right of you. As
This
this
is
group
tough.
seems a
This is
little
tough.
fanned out for a while.
Hey, everybody, keep in mind that my abilities are new. Good news, footprints gone, absolutely gone. I'm crushing it on that front. Bad news, there's a different kind of trail. And you look down, there's like a canyon.
it's a trench leading all the way to us.
Just a giant snake in the sand.
They'll think we were eaten,
Lovely.
maybe, or that we got a sled. I don't know. It's not footprints.
Incredible.
Lovely. Well, we shall continue then.
As day ends and night comes to, the moon begins to rise, and you can hear first and foremost a shocking kind of almost whimpered screech off in the distance as you hear just this like and with a slight pause you all continue on moving forward further and further.
Wait, did we see anything?
How far away was that
Not
noise?
see anything.
Did he get to see anything?
As far as
Does he learn anything from
from Barry?
Barry? Yeah.
Not currently.
He
No,
has to
not while he's
return to
away.
me.
Yeah, Barry's only able to.
Did it
kinda
sound like
telepathically-
Barry?
Make a perception check.
Oh my gosh, Tristan. Okay.
Right? You're pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
9.
9. It honestly could have been any sort of creature. It sounded animalistic in nature, but otherwise
Childish,
hard to
maybe?
say. As you guys
Sorry.
continue forward, Barry is not currently in sight as he is lost to the shroud of darkness that is nightfall. But with relative ease, shockingly, you find yourselves once again at the foot of the mountain range, and surprisingly, after a slight veering, pretty on target to where you guys had actually started directly from the cave. Given your 321s, it's a pretty good survival as you guys were able to track your way back pretty directly. And you find yourselves once again in front of this cave, but this time it's closed off. Not by any physical construct that would be anything other than a massive web created by a massive spider.
Love it. At least it's sealed.
I'm just gonna be looking into this guy for a minute.
Hey, maybe we do like that thing. Remember when we were lying to the spiders? If we find out we're getting chased, why don't we just convince them to go eat them?
We were lying to the spiders.
Remember we did the thing where we were like, "Oh, I'm a giant spider eater, and I'm gonna eat you all."
Given, the assumption that actually worked.
We didn't get eaten.
We didn't get eaten, no.
Well, that is
Such
true,
facts.
but I don't know
I never even
if
saw him.
I don't know if they understood necessarily the speaking portion of it, but I know they were probably, driven away in fear from
Right.
our shadows. But I don't think we can create that same look out here in the wide open desert.
Well, we've reached the tree line.
Well, just
have we not?
if they get really close to us, maybe I give it another go with talking to the beasts like I can do. It's one of my new things, I think. It's been shoddy, but if it works, I'll just be like, hey.
Is that a chance you're willing to take?
If we get caught between hobgoblins and spiders, we got to do something.
Well, I would imagine that the spider would prefer to go to the hobgoblins and maybe eat them.
Yeah,
There's more.
if I tell them,
you could plead with it.
right? If I was just a disembodied voice, and I said, follow the clicking sounds to the food, and then you made clicky sounds in that direction.
Worst come to worst, I can make myself appear like a spider.
Please don't.
All right.
And then I can lead the spider to the goblins.
Okay. Yeah.
You see where I'm coming
Yeah.
from?
And then
We
he
can try that.
dies.
And then he dies. Wait, no. I don't like that part of the plan.
And what? Huh?
Whether by the goblins or the spider, who knows? Or just the desert itself. But that sounds like a
Well, no, I could just-
fantastic idea.
I wouldn't die because the second that we reach the goblin army, me in the form of a spider, I would do something crazy.
Like what?
Like dig a hole.
Wait, so we're in forest area or cave area?
You guys
We're not
are still
doing
like on the less shifty sands where it has kind of become flat ground again.
Oh my god, David. I love it. I love it.
So it is just kind of flat grounds of sands currently, and you are within clear visual of the mountainous base, if you will.
Okay, then at this time I would like to. I'm just gonna start meditating, getting ready to try to talk to the animals.
Okay.
Get it become one with nature.
Talking about animals, Calagon.
Where's Barry?
You heard
Where's
from-
Rumgar?
Barry?
And he kind of pokes his head out from behind Calagon for a second.
There he is.
Are we hiding in sand with heads out?
no, we're
No.
not doing that, Rumgar, no.
Okay.
Sadly, we can't have all have our way, Rumgar.
I know. No audience.
No audience.
What is audience?
Shh. What is audience?
What is audience?
What we encountered, that was an audience.
Wait, Calagon's hearing
Audience
something.
bad.
Hmm?
No, I thought that was Barry. Sorry. I thought I heard him.
I thought I heard him about half an hour ago.
Small dragon dead?
Dragon's not dead. He's just not here yet. We gotta stay here until he gets back.
Oh.
Our future lies right in front of us.
I'm not leaving.
We did
So-
tell him that we would meet him at the tree line.
We did,
are
but what if
not
he never
quite
returns?
there
At what
yet.
point do we decide to go?
When he comes back, Rodrick,
What if he doesn't?
then you dig a hole in the ground
And put yourself
and put yourself in it until he comes back.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
What a good time.
Is there a good vantage point to like set up like not camp necessarily, but a spot where we can still see the area where we're supposed to be?
That you can see the apparent visual that is before you. The caves do open up to a series of jagged kind of cliffs of sorts. A lot of it is kind of forward-facing, overhanging, but there are certain points that you could climb up and get a smaller vantage point of sorts.
I think this would be a good spot to wait, or are we gonna set up camp? What's the plan?
I'd want to be in some kind of cover if we set up a camp, real camp.
Yes.
But if we want to just stay here and be more visible until Barry comes back, I would do that. Maybe be somewhere within easy running distance of cover, but out in the open for now, just for him.
Would he be able to tell I'm around by just being around, or does it have to be visually?
Make an Arcana check.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good roll. I believe it in my heart. 21.
21. Okay. You know that it is definitely a lot easier for him to track you the closer he is, but that there is some sense of link between the two of you guys. Past a certain point, it seems to cut off, though.
Okay. As long as I'm close enough to where he believes I will be, he should sense me. So we don't have to be in the open. Just close enough.
Again, we're just near mountains or trees. Are there trees nearby too?
Right.
The trees are a little bit more like northward, probably like a few thousand feet from you guys still, but you guys are nearing now the base of the mountain. So you guys it's still pretty sandy, pretty shifty. It just kind of goes from sand to dirt at some point, and then within the caves it's hard ground again. But aside from that,
I
there's
wouldn't
no
want to
like
go
greenery.
back to the caves because that's obviously where the spiders were nesting. That's where they had their webs.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe the forests. It's not perfect cover, but at least we wouldn't be out in the open.
I agree.
What do you think? Yeah.
I don't know if we should make a fire, though.
That would call way too much attention.
No,
I believe.
not
attract the wrong
tonight.
people.
No, fire is not necessary in the forest. We can cover ourselves with the trees. The dew from the leaves will provide sustenance for us as well. I've spent most of my time in the forest.
Well, I am hungry. Anybody else?
I would like berries.
These things are supposed to feed you so you don't get hungry for a whole other day, and I keep giving you squid. You know what? I ran out of ice on my squids anyway. Here. Just pull out my squids.
Yeah, don't you have like 18 different just like frozen animal carcasses? Just kind of
we left the giant possum or whatever
Okay.
to get eaten by spiders.
There were bloodhawks.
We had. Oh, we might have a little bit of hawk.
Yeah, we did harvest hawk.
Yeah, we have some hawks.
Some blood chickens? Or
Yeah, we got
what
some
are
murder
they called?
chickens. We got
Murder
murder
chickens.
Murder chickens, yeah, for sure.
Murder chickens.
That takes a little bit more preparation, but then we have what will be very soon stinking rest of the tentacles. So I don't mind cooking that one.
Nice.
Sushi.
Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna just kind of gather around a campfire and start cooking?
I thought we weren't
No,
starting
no
a fire.
campfire.
Then how do we cook?
Sushi.
Eating it raw.
I've eaten many things raw.
So you take me for some kind of an animal?
You lived in the forest by yourself for a long time. Never ate anything wrong. Raw.
Yeah, I ate so many things that were raw. Bananas. You remember my story?
Right. Okay.
Well, how about you forage for mushrooms or bananas, if there's any, and we'll start cutting up some.
Well, the sun's going down. How am I supposed to find them? The forest is very dark at
The
night.
sun is
Hey, I
pretty
can
much
auto
down
freeze
now.
water. Can I auto boil it?
I don't believe so. That
The
is
sun's already down.
much more
Yes.
damaging and
I forgot I
much
could see.
higher.
I guess.
I am gonna go rummage through the forest to try to
Does
find something.
Rumgar get boat?
Rumgar get
Do,
what?
Do Rumgar vote?
Sure.
You get input. What do you think?
Sure.
Yes,
What's
yes,
your input?
We eat spider?
If
what part
there's
do
a
you-
dead spider, we could eat a.
What part of a spider do you
That
even eat?
sounds disgusting.
It's probably not so different from crustaceans. Have you ever had any crab?
Of course.
Never eating a
Spider
spider.
very good.
Never gonna happen.
Small spiders?
Nope.
The small ones.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we found you wrapped. You were eating her babies. Is that true?
You try to eat the spider's babies?
Rumgar does not remember.
Oh boy. I'm not eating any spiders.
We have food available. You don't have to eat spiders. Frankly, I'd rather eat raw meat.
His frozen squishy thing is weird.
Oh, the squishy.
That's weird.
Wait,
It's all right.
but
Hey,
he's got
look,
Hawk. You've got
first-
Hawk.
None of you should be hungry. I fed you
I feel fine.
magical berries that make you not hungry.
For 24
We're only
hours.
gonna eat the squid so it doesn't rot.
When did you give me those berries?
You've had berries in the
It's
last
only
day.
been one day.
Yeah, we've
man.
only had these abilities for a day.
And
we have literally fallen from the sky this morning.
Yeah.
It's been such a
I'm
long
so
day.
It's
exhausted.
been a long day.
You know what? Why don't we just take a nap right here?
Well,
No, by the trees. By the trees. Let's get
let's
some
go take
shelter.
A little
cover
bit of
by
cover,
the
a little bit of cover, and
trees.
then yeah.
Okay.
You know, put together a small shelter, and I'll take first watch. How's that?
Oh, okay.
And you all start kind of trekking a little bit northward, following the natural curve of the mountain range, eventually hitting the tree line. You can see towering over you these 50, 100, 150 foot trees all around, a wide assortment of different types of trees. Some small and almost kind of withered and dried out, yet some, like sequoias, just massive, completely, honestly, larger than your entire party around combined. And in this varied sort of woods, you can now hear the sounds of life again, where there seem to be only, slight calls and chirps here and there, but the nightlife here within the forest is much more vibrant. Despite the dark, there is some amount of color deep within. And you can see that there's a slight dew reflecting the water reflecting the natural moonlight, allowing for some amount of visibility throughout even.
This is so much better than the desert.
It's beautiful.
We should have chosen this first. This whole thing seems to have been for nothing.
Yes,
We
but
got
we
answers.
didn't know that, so I believe we
is-
still chose the right
No,
thing.
that is true. We did get answers.
Not gonna say I told you so, but we're back at the same spot. We don't have Barry, and Rumgar's family's dead.
We're armed now.
And my feet are
I
wet.
have better armor. Before it was just
And his feet are wet.
my
And
safari.
we have more
Who's gonna fix
information about
that?
Rumgar. Why would we? Can you imagine if we would have sent Rumgar
Actually,
by himself?
Wait. Firstly, why are your feet wet?
He just kind of points down at like the dewy grass that you guys have just
Ah.
kind of stepped foot into. He's completely barefoot, as I believe Calagon typically is. And
I'm gonna start shaping
was
all
probably
the,
nice
all
for
the
him.
water
He's clearly
away
just
from,
bothered
from
as he's
our
stepping
area where
back
we're
and
trying
forth.
to lay down. And try to
Nice.
just like do the shape water away from all of our sleeping
Wait,
area.
no. Leave a little bit for me. This is my
He probably
preferred.
likes it too. Yeah.
I like
It's
it.
actually not that bad.
I'll
Reminds
gather
me
it
of-
to their areas. All the-
Rumgar just kind of like holds his foot up to you and points down at it.
just like with my hand and just like flicks away.
Amazing. Strongberry?
No more today, Rumgar. You have to pace yourself. Every day we will get strongberries, so that every day you get stronger. They don't work all at once,
How many?
and they don't grow every day. They only grow once a day.
Oh. Okay. Fine. And he just kind of turns over and looks down at the ground, and he starts kind of digging out a small little trench with his little paddle.
Good night. I'm just gonna collapse into exactly where I'm sitting.
Incredible. Make a perception check with Barry for me.
Thank you. Perception.
Oi, Arlyn.
15.
15. Okay.
Oi, Arlyn.
In fact,
Barry.
give me one more perception check with Barry.
Barry,
He's
where
not gonna
are
sleep
you,
till Barry's
Barry?
back.
He's not.
So I'm gonna fall asleep now.
8.
But as soon as you're done, when you need to
Okay.
sleep, wake me up first.
All right. Sounds good.
Somebody's gotta
Or
look out
should
for
we
him too.
just let him have first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, let us get some rest.
This time I actually do feel I need it.
Where are you,
And
And
Barry?
actually, since I have one more, this is risky, but since I have one more slot, I will grow 10 good berries right now before I go to bed.
Yes.
10 good berries, and I'll just
Oh.
put them on my hand.
Okay.
Actually, I'll put them all in a pocket.
Starting for later. I like it. Calagon. Now, as Calagon, go ahead and make a perception check as you sit first watch.
19.
19. Fantastic.
Barry.
As you lot start to settle in for the night, very limited in your current campsite, it is cold. And while some of you are a little bit more accustomed to it than others, it starts to weigh on you just how drastically things have changed from where you were just at, as almost naturally your bodies all begin to shiver. And despite needing the rest, it gets very difficult trying to really just set in for the night. Calagon, on the other end, trekking, pacing, just waiting, calling out. It takes some time,
Barry.
but a good 2 hours into your shift here, you notice a small little shadow in the sky.
Barry? Barry, is that you?
And you don't seem to feel him just close enough yet. He is pretty far off in the distance there.
I'm just going to
Little silhouette.
jump up and down like this. Over here.
No seeming notice of whatever it is you're trying to call.
How will he know it's me? How will he know? I'm going to find a... Actually, I'm going to... Give me 1 second. I'm gonna prestidigitation sparks towards that way. I'm gonna look at the guys before I do it, make sure they're sleeping.
All
And then-
fast asleep. You head on out and you start sending sparks into the sky.
We're gonna die.
And a moment later, you see as this creature starts encircling above you. And you see as this teeny, teeny, tiny little shadow that had just passed over the moon starts to grow larger. And eventually, the full-sized form of Barry appears in front of you.
Grab him. Oh my gosh, buddy. What have you seen?
You see,
I swore that was gonna be a bloodhawk.
There's gonna be something terrible.
I swore.
you see these flashes of images, each following emotions, where you can see where these goblins split off from the hobgoblins, each following one of the paths. The more reckless, smaller creatures, the goblins, seem to have followed pretty closely in pursuit of you lot. Although, what Barry notices is that they seem to be kind of searching a pretty wide area currently, as he's made his way over here. However, there's a very good chance that he may have caught at least one of their attention.
Oh, I'm just glad you're safe, buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and, once you get some sleep, I'm gonna tuck him away. I guess I'm gonna go up to Arlyn. Arlyn. Arlyn.
Yes. Did anything happen?
I know it's quite early, but Barry just came back.
Okay.
It's been 2 hours since
2
you've
hours.
slept. And his vision, it showed me that they split up. They didn't follow him. They're probably really close. And I just don't feel safe. They could be right over that tree line.
Does that mean we should keep moving? But we have
know.
not slept.
I know. What do you think we should do? He said that they split up and and I saw that they're starting to scout and like back and forth, and it's just a matter of time till they
We
get
have
to
no
us.
choice. We have to move.
Okay, you get Rodrick. I'll get Cleave.
Rodrick,
Cleave.
wake up.
Yes.
Wait,
We have to move.
We gotta go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Do you guys not
It's
believe in
Rodrick.
sleep?
Shh. Keep your voice down. For once. Barry saw
keep up.
that the goblins split up and they're scouting the nearby area. We need to find safe haven.
Audience here?
Audience is here. And we must leave them.
This is where I shine.
We sing?
If anything...
Music?
No, we're not going to sing
No,
right
no, no,
now.
no. You gotta be quiet. You gotta be quiet.
But do you guys remember the town that was nearby?
Well,
No.
Maybe we can take safe haven there.
Well, this is not the desert. We can hide here. It's a forest.
How close are they? Where are they?
I don't know.
We climb trees.
they have been following us. They followed Barry's trail and they followed our trail, so it's a matter of time. And from the vision, the search party is extensive. They're
Alright, well,
sweeping.
if we can get ourselves far enough away from where our tracks led.
But they don't
Even if
even
some
know
of them
what
catch
we
up to
look
us.
like.
Correct, exactly. Even if some of them catch up to us, they won't suspect we're the same people that they ran into.
Correct.
I just don't want to be snuck up on. I'd rather be the one.
Correct.
Well, if we
With the
stay close to the
advantage.
edge of the forest line, they have to come from the most open area. We're hidden, they're not. We have the advantage.
If we're gonna stay up, we might as well gain ground. Shouldn't we be heading towards where we originally were
We
supposed to
could
go?
run through the whole night, and we could get to wherever we are. That's a good suggestion.
Running.
But
we
if we
shouldn't stay alert.
but
Not
we don't know what's
running.
ahead.
We
So
don't.
if we do have to have any sort of head-to-head, I would rather have the advantage of being the only ones who can't be seen.
Then let's find a better spot. Now that Barry's here, we can find a really good vantage point to where, at least if we do encounter some, we can see them before they see us. The place we're at right now, they can come right over those rocks and surprise us,
Or
and
what
I
if
don't like
we-
that.
What? Instead of making it seem like we're not here, what if we make it seem like we are? And
I don't think goblins would care whether we were the ones they encountered before or not.
well, if they're looking for us, then they'll find us, or at least where they think we would be,
Right?
inside
I'm
that cave.
so confused.
So we lead tracks to the cave.
We
A
lead
false
tracks to
trail.
the cave. False trail. Lead them to the cave to their own demise.
But we tried a false trail. They're sweeping the desert. They've split up to more than just
No,
two areas.
we
That
haven't
gives us a
tried
good chance.
a false trail. We've tried to cover our trail. I say we make a trail.
Well, really fast.
Lead them to the spiders.
So that if we aren't going to get our rest now, we aren't going to heal up just now. Is anyone still hurt at all? At all?
I am slightly hurt, yes.
I'm just very tired.
I just have
I made
a few cuts.
a few more of these, just as I fell into my rest. Just eat one until you're completely
I just need
back.
one.
I pass you one. Anybody else?
I feel like absolute garbage.
Is Rumgar still cut at all or anything on him? I'm gonna check him.
Rumgar seems generally healthy, and he's been pretty. Let's say he's kept up to pace thus far pretty well.
And Barry, no cuts. Well, again, I want to check Rumgar for cuts. I want to actually like
Make an investigation check, actually.
Can I do a medicine?
Oh yeah, medicine. Duh.
13.
Do you kind of want to still keep it as investigation just because Rumgar does not want to be checked? Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything immediately, as he's kind of just like squirming and trying to keep from like you touching him in part.
We
Based
have
on the
to
fact
know
that
so we know how many strong berries to give you.
you find like small little scrapes on his side, leading to where he had previously been stepped on, but nothing major at all.
Here we are. I made a few more.
Rodrick looks pretty bad.
I feed him until it's
Yeah,
gone.
it's just the one is enough.
I
right
would
there.
say at this point, some of the bruising from when the ogre hit me is starting to show. So I'd say I look pretty beat up.
Okay.
Yeah, so same idea. I just feed you
I'm
berries
going
until they're
to put my hand on your shoulder, and you feel a little bit healthier. 1 point.
I'm looking around while everyone's healing. I'm just
Is that all
like
you
about
needed?
to fall
Just the one?
asleep.
done. That's all you needed, one.
I'm at half.
Guys, I don't know how
I'll
long I
continue
can
to feed.
run
I have 8
for.
more, so.
Do those berries
get
help with
one?
energy?
Do I get one for every berry I have?
Yeah. How many do you need?
I'm kind of hungry.
Go ahead.
4 maybe?
I've literally I played in full on doctor here. Like every, I watch as it heals, and I don't stop, like prescribing
Beautiful.
you.
So 4.
prescribing you berries until it's done. So I'll give you
Okay. Not bad.
I check on Barry. Does he look harmed at all?
Barry
Yeah,
is
4 left.
completely unscathed.
Cool. I'll just let him sleep.
How about you, Calagon?
I'm just tired.
These give energy
I-
only if you are losing energy from hunger, but otherwise they won't do much.
I don't know how much help I'd be in combat. I could still fight, but I would like a short rest at least at some point. But again, we're not safe here.
Right. Okay.
We go cave now, or
Arlyn,
Yes.
what are we doing?
I do think it would be smart to try to deviate some way with a false trail, just like Rodrick said. And then make our way towards the town.
I'll blow a gust of wind from over here on into the cave. It's gonna create the same effect.
All right, let's give it a shot.
So I go do that, and then I just meet them back up.
There's... trying to figure out a way. So, I look down and my boots are wet from the dew in the forest. I say, what if I track dirt and make it seem like I ran in? Then you use water to wash off my feet as I walk out. Just
Worth a
create
shot.
some footsteps.
Whatever we can do.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. My boots are all wet, so I'm gonna run where that mud was, or the dirt, right? Turn it into mud, and then start running into the entrance of the cave there.
This is an unusual one. I would like you guys, either one of you, you can both roll, or one of you guys can roll with advantage.
Okay.
I would like a deception check, but using either wisdom or intelligence as the primary stat for it.
Okay.
Are you good at either of those?
I don't have the specific skill for deception, but I have good wisdom.
I have 0 across the board, both of
Okay.
them.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'll run that advantage.
Okay.
Roll your die though, and I'm still gonna use my bonuses. Just give me your flat roll. Mine was a flat 4, not good. No way.
Flat 2.
Alrighty then.
The worst tracks of all time.
That's gonna be a total of 6.
6. Well done. All right.
Yikes.
You
With
guys
advantage.
start to kind of
That's
tread
right.
around
Wow.
back and forth, leading, to and fro from this cavernous entryway that you'd previously come from. Just skittering back and forth outside the tree line, and eventually getting some sort of trail going. Seems like a trail of sorts. It's definitely clearly not perfect, but you figure like, okay, it's better than nothing at all. Presumably.
So I go, not exactly what I had in mind, but I suppose it will do for something, right?
We're in a rush.
All right.
It's whatever we can do.
Can you wash the mud off my feet
Yeah. Here we go.
to not make another
Got a
trail?
Quick rinse.
Okay.
Just pulling dew and then just washing it
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I make my way out of the entrance of the gate.
Okay.
And I try to fill our decanters with dew on our
Actually,
on our move when we walk.
I grab my sword and I start breaking an entryway through the web
Nice.
to make
Okay.
it seem like we went
You
through.
can feel that there's a clear pull as you go to strike through this web, as some of this is exceptionally sticky. In fact, make an attack roll for me against the web.
Lovely. $22.
22. Yeah, it's like cutting rope. It's like cutting rope that starts to pull at your sword as you do so, and pulling away. There's this kind of bungeed pullback as it kind of springs away from you and back towards you for a second, and having to be a little extra cautious now, chopping one after the next. You start to slowly open up this narrow entryway, but you can see that for whatever reason, the webs within this cave have thickened tremendously since you have left.
Ooh. Fun stuff. All right, so
Since we left. Okay.
I'm just cutting an opening to make it seem like we went through the cave, or else it'll definitely not work. And with my clean feet, I start walking out and make my way.
Calagon and Rodrick, what are you guys up to during this time?
I'm gonna go up to Rodrick and just put my arm around him and be like, "Yeah, I'm pretty happy we ended up meeting in this cave. I feel like we're gonna do some good things. Do you see that over there?
What?
That over there." And I'm gonna snatch a piece of his hair, and I'm gonna lay it down in front of the cave entrance.
Amazing.
We'll see if it works.
Everybody make a perception
You
check
could
for
have
me.
just asked me.
That was more fun that way.
While we're on our side. Wait, everybody or them? 'Cause
Everybody.
We're doing different things. All right. I was gonna say,
What check?
if it doesn't get very far
perception.
into the cave and it's not very convincing, maybe a torch. Maybe we just burn some of this. That might be easier.
To anyone?
Nice.
That is a good point.
Right back to it, finally. Everybody's got.
It was perception.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Okay.
14.
8.
Nice. Straight up, he points and he's like, "Yeah, over there." And you look over to the horizon and immediately see just a dull orange light. As doink.
Do you see that?
I'm not gonna fall for it. I just did that to you.
I'm not playing with you. I'm not a child, Calagon.
You're the youngest one here. What do you see? And I'm gonna hold my hand out so he can't get me, and then look in the
You have
direction.
no hair to pull.
Scales.
Oh, well, that would be rough.
Well, not the most intelligent character. So,
What does the orange
could you
light
imagine
look
him being
like?
like trying to pull
What does the orange
scale?
light look like?
It's actually true.
It seems to be slowly shifting back and forth as you can make out the slowly growing brighter light.
Seems to be a campfire.
It looks like a fire. How far?
This is
Torchfire.
from you guys are at the base of the cave. This is just out on the horizon. generally.
Torchfire.
Torch fire.
So you're saying we
Yes.
have company?
Yes. I'm
Let's-
saying they're very nearby.
Let's get out of here.
Let's run.
Okay. Where to?
As you turn, you hear this light
Ooh.
from behind.
You? Him?
Only Rodrick hears this. And you all start to make your way out and back around towards the tree line, where Rumgar kind of pulls over towards Rodrick.
Are you like Rumgar? No family?
No family? No. I have a family. I have a lovely family, actually. No father. So, guess we're similar in that sense. But I mean, mine was buried. They actually, his burial site is a very highly decorated place in my village. It's not like yours. Yours is in flames. So we're not exactly the same, you and I.
You can tell he was like trying for conversation, and he clearly just kind of clams up after that point and just continues on in silence towards the woods with the rest of you.
Wait, but I do have some words of encouragement for you.
Make a persuasion check.
8.
8. Yeah, you watch as he just steadily like increases his pace and just starts getting away from you.
I'm gonna ask myself, what did I say? That was being encouraging.
Before I went to bed, I was talking about, like, focusing on my ability to speak with the animals. And now, I have not done that in character. But I was walking near Webb, so I would just like to say I start to focus that again.
Fair enough.
I won't automatically do it, obviously, because I'm out of
Okay.
slots.
You guys start going into the woods, leaving behind this light from behind. And as you start to pass by that general tree line, you can all now start to hear the low cackles. Just way, way out in the distance.
Ooh, they're coming quick. We must hurry our pace.
And you're met with a few different sights. I would like for each of you guys to once again make a survival check for me.
Much better. 18.
18. Okay.
16.
16. Nice.
Also 16.
Nice.
11.
Okay.
Okay. Easy enough. Not especially difficult. You're not able to make out any direct signs of life, per se, immediately. However, there does seem to be a minor trail at some point, where you can see that scattered along the trail is just a small smattering of like acorns just thrown into the lot. These acorns seem to kind of slowly trail off elsewhere. You can see that where these large trees kind of create this massive barrier from the sands previously encountered, they start to slowly shrink down the further in you go. And to the right and left of you, you're met with a series of different colored leaves. You can see off to the east, which is currently your left-hand side, there seem to be a series of different reddish kind of leaf trees that grow and shrink in size, that kind of vary here and there. And off to the right, you can hear this slight brook, possibly? It sounds like water trickling off in the distance, where you can see a little bit more vibrance. You can see now off the western side of the path, there seem to be more yellowish leaves and things that almost seem more like it's fall in season, that things are slowly beginning to kind of crumple to the ground and fall out, as though the progression of time around you is somewhat differed between each side.
Oi, you two have done a bit more traveling than us. Have you ever seen so many different biomes, environments in such a small place?
No, I've really spent most of my time in the forest, and then when I ventured out of the forest, I ended up with him.
Well, I know one thing. Sorry, you have more?
Well, I'm just saying, I know you said that I've adventured more than you, but I haven't, really.
Well, we've never left Manshire. I know one thing, though, because I spend a lot of time around water, and I spend a lot of time tracking and hunting animals. That's our best bet. If we want to lose these guys, we're going to want to use that river or whatever I'm hearing.
Yes,
It'll definitely diminish the sound coming from our footsteps and everything.
Yeah, no sound, no footsteps, no scent.
Yes, that is true. Should we approach it? What do you say?
I agree with Cleave.
As long as we keep going in the general direction of our path, we can use it as a way to escape from being caught.
Does everyone know how to swim?
Good question.
Vaguely. Yes, I could say yes.
Rumgar, can you swim?
What is swim?
Water. Can you move in water without going
no
under?
water. No water.
No water.
You don't like water?
Your village had a beautiful fountain in the center. You don't like water?
No water.
Oh, well. You want to be Four Horsemen? You go in water sometimes.
We'll see how
Rumgar
deep the
strong.
water is.
You watch as he just kind of like stamps his feet on some of the dew just to kind of like prove that he can do it. And that's about it, as he just kind of like
Well, how
turns
about
his
this?
aside
How
too.
about Mr. Cleave here can carry you as we go through the water? What say you?
If he needs it, I'll give him my shield as like a flotation device.
Oh, lovely.
How
Well,
much
there you
does
go.
Rumgar weigh?
Not a lot at all. Fella's like 50 pounds probably.
50 pounds? Okay.
I've never liked the feel of metal shields in my hands, and I couldn't afford one anyway. It's basically just a fence,
That's all right.
but it works for floating. It's pretty
Sure.
good.
It's become very useful.
As you all press closer and the water starts getting louder and louder, Rodrick, you're the first to notice that there seem to be lines etched into some of these trees around this area. These yellowed trees start to kind of die out, strangely enough, the closer they get to the water source here. And as you trek closer and closer, it's very clear to you that it's not that they're dying, but rather that people or creatures of some sort seem to be stripping away the bark from the outsides of these trees. And as you inspect a little bit closer, each tree seems to have a different marking.
Would I be familiar with the markings, or is it just kind of at random?
Not immediately familiar, but go ahead and make an investigation check for me as you kind of take a gander.
Is 0 possible?
0 is technically possible, yes.
Yeah, well,
Incredible. Man, just you caught on to the fact that something's kind of like scratching lines and circles into this area, but that's really about it.
man, have you noticed these lines?
What lines?
What lines?
These lines scratched into the trees.
I'd take a closer look.
Yeah, does it look like it's
Yeah.
animals or?
What does it seem? Does it seem like strategically carved out, or like slashes, or
Make an intelligence check for me.
lovely? 18.
18.
Flat roll.
That's pretty good. Finally, make actually a perception check for me as well.
All right.
It's gonna be heavy on the roll session here.
Another flat roll. Wait, can't believe how I'm rolling things I'm good at. Oh, nat 20.
Incredible. All right. You see that each of these markings seems to be guided in different directions. However, each of them only seems slanted towards one direction, generally speaking. And as you kind of take a step back, you're able to see a few different markings at one time, each slowly guiding away through these trees.
This seems like a path. Almost like a guide of some sort.
Should we follow the path, it could lead to somebody.
Well, I feel like... I don't know, but I feel like if someone creates a path, it's most likely for good. I don't think bad people like to tell people where they live, so I'm
Yes, but
for
bad
it.
people also need sustenance. What if the path is just leading towards
A trap.
Trap.
all the water? You don't have to be so cynical.
I say we let Rumgar go first.
That's quite awful of you to say.
I mean, he's already been stuck in the
I
trap. We
wouldn't-
got him out.
I
mean, it
wouldn't
was
say no to
a
refuge.
spider trap. But
I wouldn't say no to refuge, but I would be worried if this is just a camp or just a small village. I don't want to attract what could be greater numbers of hordes to a location they may previously not have known about.
Well,
Yeah.
that is true, except
You guys redirected them,
also-
though, so that's not something to worry about anymore.
hopefully. But if we were to have to fight, you guys saw the numbers on their side. If only we had a bit more numbers on our side to help,
It's fair.
we would lead through that battle.
This could be where they're from.
Yes.
Nah, they're from the north. All right. We
Let's
try
try
it.
to follow it.
okay.
We kind of make out where it's leading us to a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. As you follow this path, you can note that some of these etchings kind of wind off left and then it kind of curves back around right, as though navigating around different areas of these woods. And as you follow along in this path, it eventually lets out to this open waterfall. Small,
Ooh.
thin, but beautiful. And as you look on, you can see that there's a series of purple moss lining the edges of this small riverbed, and a few different stones, large stones, kind of set out, each just kind of placed within the water, but carved. And as you follow these engravings, you can see that finally, leaving the tree line, 3 of them seem to perfectly point to almost look like an arrow directly at the waterfall.
Do you think there's someone staying behind the waterfall?
Could be a hidden entrance to... I don't know what.
Should we make ourselves known? Would hate to feel like intruders in someone's home.
If they could hear past the waterfall.
Yes, great point.
I can hardly hear what you're saying, and it's not even close to us yet.
Then should we approach?
We've come this
I think
far.
so.
All right. So I'm going to lead the way and kind of approach towards that waterfall. I'm gonna cast light on my sword.
While we're walking, can I just want to hum a jolly tune so that they can feel like we're not dangerous.
Okay. You're pulling your sword, but light, and you're humming.
Maybe
Light.
it's just a tool for light. Maybe that's why he has it out.
Well, no, my sword. I cast light on my sword.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So
Like,
I hold it like
conceptually,
this.
it will seem
Like
like,
a
it's more
flashlight,
for a
yes.
flashlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you start moving forward, everybody make a perception check for me.
All right.
Diaz.
12.
What was it?
10.
10? Okay.
14.
12, 14,
I
10.
think also 14. Yeah, 14.
Okay. Well, it's enough to notice for sure that as he lights up his sword and brings it over his head, you can all see that each of these trees now has just been completely stripped of their bark, and you see words carved into every single tree all around you now.
In common?
In common.
Huh.
As you step out into this kind of opening within this forest, you see the words mountain, hill, sands, village, green, yellow, orange, river, stream. Just
Okay.
all sorts of words.
Are they pointing?
Just all carved inwardly, as though to be able to read them while standing where you are. Just all lining the sides of this waterfall river area.
It's very strange.
Is it a code?
Either that or someone was learning how to spell in the forest.
They could have just been adventuring to this part for the first time and noticing, as we are, there's a lot of different environments in a small area. It's like maybe they were just taking notes. They didn't have paper.
But it looks random. I mean, dude,
That's what I mean.
is
Just
the
things
yellow
they saw.
by the yellow leaves? Is the stream by the stream? Is
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 8.
8. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any immediate sense to these markings. They're just words written around. You see that there's, questions as far as who, what, when, where, why. You see a series of colors, objects, places, locations, things. Nothing that seems to make any sense. Some of them even more like abstract, high, low, barren, wasted. But
It's just a bunch of random words, Cleave. I don't understand.
Maybe if we run into him, maybe we just ask. Because I've got nothing.
Someone did this. There's got to be a purpose.
At least we know we were right. It's not animals. It's intelligent. Somebody,
Yes.
intelligent life.
I'm going to
Correct.
yell out, "Hello! Hello!"
yeah, just echoes back to you in part, and you watch as a little bit of rustling in the trees just seems to spawn this bird from off in the distance. Nothing more.
Is there a
That's very
path to
risky.
behind the waterfall? Are we able to do that, or was that just?
Can we check behind the waterfall?
Yeah, so there's these series of large, kind of flattened stones, clearly man-made, that lead their way up to it. And
I'm gonna make my way there
you're gonna go?
I'm going to follow you.
with
Right behind
my
you.
light shining in front of me.
Okay. Are you just gonna beeline it from where you're at, or are you kind of taking your time and kind of gonna track around and see if
I'm
you can?
kind of going around and also looking around the area, kind of examining the words, trying to make any sense to them as I'm approaching that area, trying to see if there is something back there.
Okay.
Does it immediately seem obvious that the steps have been man-made?
Oh, for
on the way
sure.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
absolutely.
I'm definitely more curious as to who is back there.
Okay. Yeah.
know.
As you take a step onto the first stone, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, fun. Dexterity.
Mm.
8.
As these
I'm behind you. I'll catch you.
Nice.
The foaming mists of this waterfall seem to hide just A, how slippery these stones seem to be, but B, as you slide on it, you feel that there is a rocking to the stone that is as though it's somewhat out of place. And between the water, the moss, and the fact that it kind of pushes off kilter, you find yourself just toppled into the water for a moment.
Sorry.
And as you fall onto your side, you feel this sharp stabbing pain all across, as it almost seems like coral.
Like coral?
Coral reaching up, just breaking into your side as you take 1 point of piercing damage.
Well,
You okay?
I suppose, but
Is it shallow?
watch
He
your
doesn't-
step.
But it is pretty shallow, and you're otherwise fine. It's just the mist that seems to be masking it.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes. Let's not go for a swim. How about that?
Here.
Well,
I
what's
believe
in?
there's
I throw down
coral
my
covering this
ridiculously
whole area.
large but light chains just to give me a tug back up.
And
Nice.
so I hold on to it and come back
Coral.
up
Yeah.
as well.
Getting right back up with ease.
Coral. So there's a
Watch-
whole ecosystem in here.
Yes.
It's like we're at. It's like we're in everywhere in the world all at once.
It's very
Things
strange.
I've only read about. Things I've only heard about.
Yes.
We still got to make it up to that waterfall and see what's going on.
Yes. Watch your step, men, because whoever built this didn't build it very well.
Can't you just make the water stop flowing into the waterfall so that we can look inside?
I can only do a bit at a time. I could maybe do a.
Can you blow air at it to at least disperse it?
Like, I mean, I could maybe do a little dispersal.
Well,
You could.
water will go with
You'd have a small.
physics, so if you can disperse from the top, won't it just
It
travel
should
down the
split.
sides?
I can give it a shot.
Mold earth. Can you?
No, I can't do anything with earth. It's all. So far, it's just water and air.
Can my mage hand just like hold a little bit
Just
of
slowly
invisible.
spattering around the hand.
it? Just hold it like that, let it fly out.
Well, how about just try to make a break in the waterfall and see if we can see behind it.
I can try it.
Okay.
And just reach in and try to like do a little parting. See if I can get it
Cool. And what are you using for this?
there. Shape water. Shape water.
Shape water. All right.
I might have to hold and continuously do it.
How close are you going to be when you do this?
It's. I can be as far as 30 feet.
Okay. It's only about like I'd say about like 85 feet wide at the base of this waterfall.
Oh, it's a really wide waterfall. I thought it was like a brook.
It's very like light in relation to like other waterfalls, but it still starts off pretty wide and slowly kind of thins and thickens out here and there. But it's overall still not especially heavy.
Okay. Yeah. So I just if there's anywhere that like the steps seem to lead, I try to make a path there.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going like up to the waterfall to try and do that. Cool.
I mean, yeah, like maybe like 10, 20 feet away.
10, 20 feet away? Yeah, having just come from where you did, you seem to hop onto the first stone with relative ease, no slipperiness whatsoever. And jumping to the next, nothing. Seems pretty safe so far.
Whenever I'm near whatever one he fell on, I want to just try to dry it off with my water shaping.
He was
thing
already
first.
behind you where you're
Oh,
at
yeah?
currently, because
Okay.
he was trying to kind of...
Well, I guess same idea.
Go
I
to a
still
different
try to
stone.
dry him off before I step on him, and then when I get close enough, I do the thing.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. You said 10 feet away?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, you reach your hands out, and as you go to shape this waterfall, it is very difficult still. You're used to shaping standing water thus far, with minor exceptions.
Yeah.
And it's not quite enough to divide it in the ways that you'd hoped.
Is it able to divide it enough that it's lighter? Like even if there's like still,
It is
Trickles,
lighter
like,
for
you just
sure, but
make
you
it
can't
like you
see
probably walk through.
anything between or anything.
I could probably hold it at about light enough for somebody to walk through past me. I don't really see much though.
Well, I guess I'll continue forward. And Now I'm checking my step. I'm checking every stone before I step on it.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Still shining my light.
It's actually pretty easy now that you're getting the hang of it out there, and hopping stone to stone, kind of poking, full body weight, poking, full body weight. You jump your way over, and as you reach Cleave, he's kind of pulling with all of his might. As you can see, the muscles in his body actually kind of pulsating outward, as you can see that there is this physical aspect of him actually almost tearing apart the water. And stepping just past him, you find your way to the nearest stone, and reaching in through the waterfall, solid stone.
There's nothing.
What does it look like? Are there any markings?
I'm gonna tap on it with my sword.
Nothing is perfect. Now we can rest.
Investigation check.
13.
13.
Being 0 across the board makes rolls pretty easy.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
It's kind of sad, though.
As you start to feel around and try to see, again, heavy mists covering your current visuals, it seems fairly hopeless that this is, finding anything beyond just the stone cliff side of the waterfall itself. Yet as you turn, you're met with a somewhat obvious revelation. And you can see a line of trees, each perfectly staggered, clearly planted by man.
Cleave, do you see that out there?
As I look, is it like almost like pointing at me, like almost like I'm looking at just one tree?
It's harder to see from where you're at currently.
Okay.
Doesn't seem it's mostly just trees from what you're seeing.
What do you see in the tree line? Is there somebody there?
No, it just looks oddly unnatural the way that those trees are scattered around.
Do you want to go take a look? Maybe it's leading somewhere.
Yes, I believe it might be. Let's go.
Are we able to step into the water without it being like a whole thing?
There's still plenty of like coral down there, so it would still be.
I mean, I wear boots. These guys
generally
Rumgar and
tricky
him might
if
be
you don't know
special.
what else, but you know for a fact that there's at least coral.
Coral means life, Cleave. Don't ruin someone's house.
So
What kind of horrible conservationist are you?
explain the scene. So there's like a bit of like I guess like a brook kind of lake area.
Yeah,
right,
so there's
with a
this
waterfall.
steady stream going that seems a little thin generally. And as you stand at the stone at the waterfall's base, much lighter fall from what you'd normally expect thanks to your buddy Cleave here, you look out and everything looks completely random, and yet your eyes immediately shift focus leftward, where you can see planted in rows these medium-sized like oak-type trees, each in a clear line.
How do we get
almost
to
like
those
a small
trees?
wall? Pretty close by. There's no real issue.
Okay.
So you can step
So
your
we'll
way
just
over.
Backtrack from
Yeah.
where we went then.
And
Okay.
as you do so, you can see that carved into each of these trunks are different words, much like everything else you've seen before. But as you kind of position yourself to fall in line with the tree line in the way that you'd just seen from before, you see a sentence begin to form.
Oh.
Where tree after tree, you can make out the first few lines, or words in the line. Where acorns fall, and...
Where acorns fall.
They say where acorns fall and...
Yep.
That's as far out as he can see, basically. So I guess we would keep following and.
So yeah, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm pulling up a document so I can write this down.
Nice. Yeah, you start to walk in further, and as you follow along with the tree line, it says where acorns fall and red leaves grow, in forest deep, Rudon lies low.
Brudon?
Yep, Rudon.
Rudon lies low.
Lies low.
Where acorns fall and red leaves grow. In forest deep, Rudon lies low. I suppose Rudon's who we're looking for here.
I'd like to lie low right now.
Didn't we actually hear about a? It was slightly different wording, but all that's coming to mind is the Naruto phrase: "A village hidden in the leaves." Isn't that?
Yes.
Didn't we hear about that?
Yes, I believe that is what Arendor told us.
Or perhaps Rudon is not a man. Perhaps Rudon
Is a village.
is a village.
I hope they have beds.
Yes,
Comfy.
me too, Calagon.
Have you known of a
bed.
village
But it's
without a
either
bed?
we find a bed in safety or we find a bed in death.
At this point,
If
we
we
have to
wish
have
from-
lost them.
How do we know where this hidden city is? All we see is a message on trees.
Well, we follow the trees
Where
and the
acorns fall and red leaves grow.
It sounds like song lyrics.
Sounds like the floor.
Do we have to sing it?
Wait a second. What if we dig a hole in the ground and not put ourselves in it,
Oh,
but it says
I was
it
about to.
lies low? This village could be underground.
I could keep doing the gusts of wind. Maybe it's like a trapdoor situation to
Well,
open up.
acorns fall on the ground, leaves lie,
Nope. Leaves grow.
leaves grow.
The trees.
Where acorns fall.
Maybe every once in a while I just blow some wind around and maybe it unveils something.
Just seems like a forest.
is it a village
Red leaves
in the
grow
trees?
on the trees.
Yes, but this is where acorns fall on the
They
forest floor,
fall from the tree up
and
at the
leaves
top.
grow.
The
It
leaves
says
grow
forest.
at the top of the trees.
In
Is there a village up in
forest
the
deep?
Well,
Rudon.
we know this. We
Uh,
know this. Where we are, there's a lot of different environments. There's mountains, there's
Yes.
desert, there's forests, there's rivers.
Correct.
And on one side of the river, there's green leaves. On the other side, is red leaves. So we've
leaves.
got a pretty good.
Yes. So we approach the red leaves, and it says Rudon lies low.
Underground.
That could mean like just hidden. It doesn't necessarily mean
fall.
underground.
Yes,
Correct.
but
It
you're
could be
thinking of it
underground, yes.
metaphorically. Think you might have to think literally.
Well, they say
I don't think
it
they would-
lies low, but they're leading us to them. I don't know.
They wouldn't put a message out and it'd be a puzzle if they just are out in the open.
Unless it was written by somebody else, like a treasure hunter. Is this a place of legend?
I suppose the only way is to make our way as close as we can.
To the red
I mean,
leaves.
To the red leaves, yes.
Okay.
And at least would be closer than we are now.
Tracking back towards where you'd previously seen these red leaves, you see the very clear path that had been made that eventually faded, and you're able to find instead that path of acorns leading directly into the tree line.
Where acorns fall, here it is. And red leaves grow on our way into the red leaf forest. In forest deep, Rudon lies low. Let's just follow
We're on the
in.
trail.
Follow the trail.
Easy enough. And like breadcrumbs, you slowly watch as acorn after acorn, again, winding paths through these woods. At some point, you see once again a carved out portion of a tree where the bark seems to be peeled back. And engraved into this tree is a message. Up ahead, Rudon Village.
Man, I think we're there.
Okay, hearing me
Finally.
out. I still think it's a riddle.
You still think it's what?
It's a riddle.
No, it's not a riddle. This is just saying
It
the
clearly
village is
says
up
up ahead.
When I said it was literal, you guys said it was metaphorical. Up could mean in the sky. Maybe we send Barry.
Maybe it means you found your people. When you bury yourself, the only part that's left up is ahead.
He's got a point.
Maybe
I'm
this
really
is why
tired,
you were
but it
destined
sounds
to
like
come
he's got
here
a point.
and be our voice.
Maybe I'm the wisest of them all.
You start digging, we'll head this way to see if there's a village over there.
Well, it says up ahead, not
Up.
down ahead.
Hmm.
So maybe we climb.
Arlyn,
Yes.
what do you think? I think we should go forward.
The riddle said lies low. I don't think it'll be up ahead.
So if we think it's low, those are lies. We're getting somewhere.
Wait.
Lies low,
Finally, it's
up
about
ahead.
time.
Oh my gosh, I think you guys are reading into this a little too much.
But what if
How about we
They're
make
not.
our
That was
way
the
this way?
misdirect. They couldn't just tell you where it was.
Look
Every
up,
goblin would eat 'em.
we look straight. Whoever sees a village first wins.
Well, in this dangerous world, why would they lead you straight with these signs?
Yeah.
Clearly,
Huh.
they
It's
would
only
want the
for
goblins
the,
to
for
go
the
somewhere
wise of
else.
mind to get in here.
Yes.
lies low?
I'm gonna try to climb this tree.
How thick of a tree are you looking to climb? There are small, medium, and large in the
I'll
area.
take a medium.
Medium. Okay. Yeah, easy enough.
What is this? Fast food at a drive-thru?
Yeah, make an athletics or acrobatics check.
I am going to
20.
follow.
Yep. Easy enough. Catching your bearings, you're able to just kind of slowly scroll your way up top, and it's pretty high up. So depending on how high you want to go, you can determine your current vantage point.
Do I see a village?
Make a perception check.
19.
19. You see a wall of lumber. You can see different logs sharpened and stabbed into the ground, creating this kind of barricade, this palisade of sorts, surrounding what you can almost presume to be a village of sorts.
Is
It's just a wall for
Is
now,
it straight? Is it straight ahead?
though. It is straight ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna scurry back down the tree.
Cool.
Okay. I've had a change of thought. Maybe the village is straight ahead.
Did you see one, or are you just guessing?
I
You saw one, didn't you? Okay, so this way. Why don't
This
you?
way it is.
You should lead, Rodrick, since you're obviously the most intelligent one right now.
I'll lead.
Ah.
Lovely.
If we
Scared for our
use
life.
the most intelligent one to keep us on the path, then we're up ahead. That's pretty. Yeah, you know, there's something to this. There's something to this.
And then technically we are the Four Horsemen, but we have Rumgar here, and he's 5, so we are also up ahead.
I'm 2.
What?
I am 2.
He
Ram-
looks
Amgar
5, but
is
he's.
2.
We don't age the same way as. That's what it is. Oh, especially a full-blooded.
I am 2. He is 1. You are youngest.
Huh?
I'm youngest. Think I'm younger than you?
Is that not what Calagon said? You were the youngest of the bunch.
I meant us. I didn't mean him.
Okay, forgive me then. I'm just now learning how
Okay.
orcs age.
Did Calagon say he was the youngest? When did that happen?
This was literally this session
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah,
He
I know.
Literally
made a
from
comment
that
about that.
Yeah.
Remember a day.
Alright. I'm gonna triumphantly chest out, guide us to the village.
Beautiful. All
I
right.
didn't actually know if
As
that
you
he was
do
the
so-
youngest. That was just
Following
assuming.
where these massive oak logs start to kind of conjoin at an open gateway. You're met first
bucks a day, maybe.
with the towering image of this wooden structure and a large golden bell up atop at its center, surrounded by smaller, still under construction, buildings all around it. However, directly in your face, you can see, depending on the person, I suppose, the otherwise terrifying visage, the appearance of a dragonborn. Red in scale, with kind of darker black over top. Unlike Calagon, who seems to hold himself upright in a very human kind of way, this creature is clearly much, much more dragon than man. As you can see the appearance before you, just hunched over and just decked out in armor of different sorts. You can see a small golden gem hanging from the shoulder as reaching down to grab this massive axe. You see this creature just grabs at this weapon, holds it up, and places it on its shoulder. Cocks its head towards you and just observes.
Oh, I thought it was like a
Statue.
Yeah.
Calagon,
I'm gonna make my way to the front of the group.
Thank you, please.
is this your farm?
No, it's not my farm, Roger. I'm gonna look into this, the eyes of this dragonborn, and while standing up tall with my staff next to me, who are you?
Rodrick. Who are you?
He seems nice. He already told me his name. I am Calagon. I am with my traveling party. We seek shelter. Are you friend or foe?
I suppose that's, depending on who you are.
Well, we come in peace. We mean no harm.
I come in peace. You're fun.
I like to think so.
So, how'd you hear about us?
We didn't necessarily hear about you. We just stumbled upon the message back there, and it led us here.
Kind of looks around. Merchants? New recruits?
Recruits?
Travelers?
Travelers.
Travelers, but what recruits are you looking for?
We're currently recruiting all sorts, I suppose. We've got merchants in part. We've got the financials. We've got adventurers. We've got craftsmen.
Well, it sounds like
You
we'd fit in
interested?
perfectly.
Wait, no, he's not done. Continue.
We've got many things and many people, but we have lost a few recently.
You've not said the most important thing.
Most important thing. Killers.
Entertainment, of course.
And we've got that too.
Oh, you've got that.
Yeah?
In what form?
In what form? He kind of looks at you for a second, gives you a quick up-down. Well, in that form, I suppose.
Okay. Just making sure torture wasn't a form of entertainment here.
I appreciate that. I not
Good
well
eye,
versed in
Calagon.
torture.
You know, Rowan.
Do I know Rowan?
No, not friend of Rowan.
Rowan, haven't heard of it.
All right.
We come from Manshire. We just seek shelter for the night. Is there any way we can find a spot here?
Well, typically we take in travelers only if they're working with us, but I'll
Well, why don't you
talk
just
to the
work
leaders
with us
and see
here?
what's happening. Come on. And as he kind of pulls his thick dragon neck to the side, he seems to motion towards the main building, walking his way directly past the gates and towards what you can now read to say the Waking Dawn Guildhall.
It's beautiful.
Psst, Arlyn.
Yes.
Should we mention that there was possibly a pack of goblins that could come this way? Should we let them know?
In due time. But Rodrick, does that name look familiar to you?
The name?
Yes. That guild hall over there. Look at the name above. The Waking Dawn.
Never heard of it.
Never. Rodrick,
What?
we were literally recruiting for the Waking Dawn when we met.
Oh. Listen, trauma works through people in all different kinds of ways. I've chosen to forget all of our adventures with Nile Rourke.
Wait, the Waking Dawn was the group you guys joined in the cave? They came from here?
I suppose so.
They thought we were recruits too.
Do you think?
Yes.
Do you think?
What's
they-
the likelihood it's just the same name, not the same people?
Really?
Do you
Keep
think?
up!
Do you think when he
Hey.
said with us the couple, he was talking about the guys
Hey,
we
go,
went?
Calagon. Do you remember his name?
I'm not good with names.
His name is
I was-
Rodrick.
Raddick,
All right. For some
like
reason,
Rodrick, but
I
cooler.
don't,
Raddick.
Take that back.
Please,
For
Rad.
some reason, I'm
Ick.
not going to trust Rodrick in calling him that. Excuse me, fine sir.
Kind of peels back to look at you as he has to pause for a moment, drops his axe into the ground.
Tell us more about the Waking Dawn.
You familiar with Amon and Vardid?
Not exactly. I finally put my sword away. Not exactly. But you see, we're a guild of our own. I believe we had a run-in with some members of the Waking Dawn not too long ago.
Which?
Their names were Niall.
Niall Rourke,
Jameson.
Jameson, and
Jameson.
Eli Kid?
Was it
Eli?
Eli?
Elliot.
Elliot?
Elliot
Yeah.
Elliot.
Elliot Kid
Yes,
and Jameson.
Elliot. Those three.
Have you heard of them?
I have.
Are they your
Yes.
friends?
Certainly.
Are they good
we
people?
treated them
course.
extremely fairly. Frankly, we were
Actually-
best friends with them.
They're somewhat employed for us now, too.
Correct.
See this large, kind of toothy grin.
What you mean?
Well, you
What,
see.
does your guild... Are they hireable?
In a sense, yeah.
So there you go. We hired them.
We hire them. Right now they're looking after our families.
Correct. Almost like a guard. Yes.
This is a bad
I look
idea.
at Cleave.
I'm not saying a word.
He turns around.
Please follow me. I've got someone for you to speak with then.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for your fine services here. Great hospitality.
Of course.
And your name was again?
Raddick.
Reddick. I look at Rodrick, almost like a "you're right" kind of look. I go, Arlyn Dursalai.
Just this massive slap to the forearm.
Lovely.
You gotta make it
Yes.
Not quite gentle, is he?
Well, lead us.
Was that loud enough for him to hear?
Probably.
Are you a gentle type?
Me?
Him a little bit. Don't mind him.
No, I could be. I could also be tough.
Very tough, Rodrick. Yes.
What do you want me to
You'll-
be in that moment?
What? What are you? Why
We
are
are
you here?
adventurers.
Gentle adventurers.
Yes, we are adventurers.
Well,
I
we come in all types.
I do my voice to sound just like Arlyn, and I go, "We are the Four Horsemen."
That's right. That is our name, the Four Horsemen. And
I
I
know-
kind of look at Calagon in agreement.
Yeah, I know there's a fifth one here. It's confusing. We can
Don't
catch
maybe.
up on that
He's
later.
gonna take my place
Explain
one day.
it. It's not as cool if you explain it.
Kind of looks around, puzzled.
Small neck, soft skin, and noses that couldn't crack an egg.
You are some gentle adventurers. And he kind of looks over at Calagon and peering down at Barry, he says, I kind of like this one.
I take out my shield. I say, do you see the stain of blood on my shield?
If you want to underestimate us like our past foes,
Throw it in the back.
by all means.
Do you see the stain of blood on my arm? I reveal my arm where I got cut by the ogre.
Your shirt's torn.
Yes. Listen, I make these shirts. I can untear them, tear them as I'd like.
Please, do not show right now.
Here's a shoulder pad.
Anyways, he is more of the inspiring role in our guild. But yes, we are adventurers.
No, I'm not inspiring. I'm the voice of...
Well, that too. But don't talk so much right now, please.
It's my job. This is what Arrendelle said.
Walking forward, you can see that the moonlight seems to offer quite a bit of visual aid when it comes to this small village here. However, there are torches set up strategically around each of the corners of the buildings, hanging from the buildings themselves, and there seems to be quite a bit of light coming from inside the guild hall. As you approach, you can see that Rodrick is met at the door. As he pushes open this larger wooden door, he steps foot in, and you can see this beautiful woman meet him. Long red hair, colorful garb, and kind of hidden behind his figure, he kind of leans over, and you can hear him whispering something to her as she vanishes off, and you can all see that now, as you look past him, she seems to run up a series of stairs, and you can all feel the warmth from within. As stepping foot inside, he says, come on, just wait right here in the lobby. And as you all step foot inside, one after the next, you can feel the warmth of the heat from all around you, torchlight surrounding you on all sides, and this small, like, fire pit, this almost campfire type setting, just kind of nestled within the very base of this lobby. Behind it, off in the corner, you can see a young man with a series of piercings in his ears, human, also kind of this wavy, reddish-orange hair, kind of falling mid-length, as he sits there just kind of lightly plucking away at this stringed instrument and thinking.
I want to walk up to him. What's your
Rodrick
name?
kind of slowly, as you're walking up, whoa, 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 whoa.
Rodrick, clearly these are my people. Do you see my hair? Their hair? Do you see my drum? I'm gonna flick it.
He kind of looks about, and you watch as the young man, who's clearly now focused his sights on you as you lot have all kind of trickled into the doorway, seems to take pause, and upon Rodrick's request, starts to walk over, slowly but surely, until he finds himself face to face with you. Without saying a word, he just kind of looks you up and down, almost kind of confused like, and you can see that he has this blue scarf wrapped around his neck and this light kind of orangey vest of sorts over top his flowing white shirt. Also pretty colorful, but not quite as colorful as you or the woman that you had just seen previously. No words coming out of his mouth. He just looks up at Rodrick, looks over at you. Hi, what is it?
Come again.
You requested my presence, did you not?
I did?
What can I be helping you with?
I wanted to see your instrument. Did you just start learning?
Did I just start?
I look at Calagon and I go, oh no, it's another Rodrick.
Do you believe that I am some amateur?
One was enough.
I believe I could maybe provide some words of wisdom for you.
Oh, do you now? Some words of wisdom. Please do. By all means.
First things first. The accent. Lose the accent.
What do you mean, lose the accent?
Don't talk that loud. Lose the accent.
What are you talking about?
Nobody likes to hear it. Lose it.
This is how I sound.
Oh my goodness. Just listen.
What do you
to
want?
me. I've been around.
I don't understand.
know what the crowd's like.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, you'll be judged. Nobody will listen to music. That accent is unbearable.
This accent has been carrying me through countless performances.
I thought so.
Don't harsh me accent.
I thought so too, and I had to make a shift. Just please, take my advice. Heed my advice. I'm wise. In my own
Rodrick,
days.
what's wrong with him? Rodrick just kind of shakes his head. You can go now.
Rodrick, is this your entertainment?
Yes, in part.
You thought he was gentle? Now you've learned a valuable lesson about just how ungentle the Four Horsemen can be.
You just hear him muttering off as he turns around. 1-1 against any one of you, and I'll take you. Dare ya.
All right, calm down.
I just saw you get wrecked a little bit.
We're not.
Sorry.
Get wrecked? He turns back around for a moment. What do you mean, get wrecked a little bit?
Cleave, we're
It
not
was
here
just
to
a
make
little bit.
enemies.
Cleave? Cleave, what do you mean, get wrecked a little bit, Cleave boy?
You seem upset. It seems like he got you.
And how do you get me?
You're
With his
upset.
little twing twing?
Look at him. He looks fine. You look a bit harmed.
You seem angry.
I seem angry, do I?
You do seem a little angry right
Well,
now.
how
I can't
about
perform, can I?
how about a little sing off?
How about a little sing off? What do you mean sing off? This dolt can't sing.
Battle of the
He can't
Bands.
even. He doesn't even believe in proper verbal speech.
Listen. We've already said come again twice. We
already
can't
said come again
understand
twice.
you.
We can't understand. I don't understand a word you're saying.
She's gonna get Rumgar for his money in my book. Wait, is she here?
You know what? You can just show me what you can do.
Oh, I can show you what I can do I?
Yes.
Oh, and what can you do? What is it that's so special about you? But apparently I can't perform.
What can I? I'm the
Why
greatest.
don't you wobble back wherever you came?
I'm the greatest performer of all.
Oh, one of the greatest, yes, so I'm sure. Who are you?
That is Rodrick Elwood.
Oh, Rodrick Elwood. Oh, that's all well and good, isn't it? Yet here we are, and yet here we fall like a falling star, Mr. Elwood, deep within the woods. Here we are finding ourselves lost, aren't we?
Come again?
Are you confused, boy? Are you simple?
I wouldn't necessarily say that we are lost. You see, we...
I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to this one.
Okay. Now you're starting to make us all a little upset here.
Mr. Elwood, sir, I do believe that you have challenged me, and if you could, then I'd like to hear all that you have to say about the way that I play in relation to what you do in this fine
Oh,
day.
I asked as if you were learning your instrument.
Ah, simple.
You did say he sounds stupid with his accent.
Yeah, well, it's not. No,
Nothing, not a word.
What's
I
your
can't
name?
explain. I can't.
My name is Sherwin Oakley. The finest performer in this very room at the very least.
Why
Did you
don't
say
prove
Strowan?
it?
Sherwin?
Why don't I prove it?
Sherwin
I've been doing it this whole time. At the very least, you should listen to me. I'm a verbal beast. This one is simple, and yet you listen to him as though he can rhyme, and not a single time have I heard a single line.
He's been right.
This is intense.
Your challenge has
About to
already
stomp
been
the yard.
accepted.
Accepted, he's
I
already
did
been
not
defeated.
challenge anyone.
All right.
This one is at a loss. Boys, when it comes to entrepreneurship and entertainmentship, I'm already his boss.
Oh, this is a standoff.
All right. Well,
Didn't sign up for a rap off.
Rap battle.
Go ahead, Mr. Rhythm and Rhyme.
Mr. Rhythm and Rhyme.
Tell me what you've got this time. I definitely swapped into British on that one. No.
Good job. Keep doing that. We have to stop doing this.
They did this to us. I wasn't trying to encourage you.
show him what you
That's
can do,
what I thought.
Rodrick.
That's what I thought, Mr. Rodrick. A simple man of no rhymes. This time it's made plain and clear that the only thing that we'll be seeing here is a simple championship run by Rowan himself. But you look like me, but worse.
He's in, I'm drumming.
Part human, part elf.
A curse.
Are you in on this now as well? Would you
No.
like to challenge me too now?
No, I would not.
That's what I thought.
This is not my specialty.
You are simple folk.
I've
And
never
he
found
turns
myself at a lost point.
with a slight flare of his scarf. And he starts to walk off. And you, Rodrick. And he turns once more. And he says, Rodrick, get them away from me, these simple performers. They have nothing to offer us. We're a great guild, we may be up and coming, but we deserve far more than this. And he starts trekking his way upstairs.
Wait, no, I want to just like get like cornerman Rodrick for a second. Just like, Rodrick, I've seen what you can do. This is, if you're gonna build an audience in a new place, this is your chance.
Yes, but I don't like being put on the spot.
You can't
love.
deny a challenge. This is what you're meant to be.
I've
Correct.
never battled. I'm a performer for the masses. I've never battled.
Just show them what you can do.
It's a different skill set. I haven't honed it.
Are you not the greatest performer in
You
the
don't
world?
have to, but I just want you to know that I believe you can.
So can I, after what I saw over with the goblins.
Now,
Rodrick.
making his way to the top of the
Rodrick.
stairs,
Rodrick.
he watches Rowan looks back. That is not the name you should be chanting, boys. For this day, the name you shall chant from henceforth is that of Rowan Oakley. And he vanishes around the corner.
Rowan Coakley. That's what he said.
Oh,
I can't understand him either.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rodrick.
You said nothing, Roger.
I'm very upset.
Bad audience?
Do you have stage fright, Rodrick?
Listen. Arlyn knows I opened up to him. I don't do well in front of small crowds. I'm more of a big picture kind of guy. So the small crowds, the rap battles, it's never been something I've been well versed in. I've also never encountered somebody so volatile.
You hear shouts from down the hall as you say, get him out! I don't care if they're new recruits. I don't want to see him.
He's still going.
And a moment later, just long locks appear bouncing and appearing now fully before you all for the first time. You can see the very similar visage of a woman who clearly, as she announces, "Oh, my brother doesn't seem to like you much. What is it that you've done?"
Well,
Frankly, nothing.
we've done nothing. He challenged me to a rap battle.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Did you accept?
I did not accept, but he assumed
It's
I
for the
did.
best. He's very good.
I heard. I'm not much of a rapper. I'm more of a melodic type.
Don't be caught saying that in front of him. He would certainly insult you for that. He believes that if you can follow in rhythm and rhyme that you are talented, and if you're just someone who reads words off a page, then you are nothing but some cheap, low-class...
Well, I don't always just read words off a page, but rhythm and rhyme, it's controlled by my drum. The melody is controlled by my voice. That's what I create.
Then
I do believe
why
we've gotten
didn't you
quite
just do
distracted
that?
here. Roddick had told me that you were...
You don't do that in a rap.
We're looking to speak with the Guildmaster. Is that accurate?
Is he anything like Rowan?
Well, in part. No.
Is he angry?
Is
What do you
he
mean,
angry?
Sherwin?
No, he's not angry.
What?
He's a stoic character, but not angry. No.
I can't tell with the accent.
Perfect. We shall speak to him.
Very good.
Great.
So, come along.
Okay.
And she starts to walk her way up a series of stairs, and she kind of stops for a moment as she starts walking up the 3rd floor, and she and kind of gives you like the whispered motion. She's pointing at Rodrick. She walks you all past and up a final flight of stairs where it ends with just 2 stretches of hallway out to either side, and before you can see this kind of concaved area that leads into just a singular door. And she says, "Very well then, he should be just up ahead, but I do believe you'll have to give him a minute." And you can hear the low whisper as, right as she says that, a man seems to step out. She's, "Oh, that's my cue. You'll have luck, best of luck in there," and she kind of lowly whispers to you all, be on your best behavior for us. That man is very important. He's from the Vindril dynasty.
The what? Say that again?
The Vindril dynasty.
Vindril Dynasty.
What's Vindril?
Vindril dynasty? You don't know of the Vindril dynasty?
I don't know.
They're the biggest of the 10 kingdoms. They're massive. He's here to work out some sort of deal. Vatid is away, but Iman is still a good enough speaker. I'm hoping that we can work out something. And as she looks to him as he kind of turns to face you all, "Very well then, best of luck." And she starts to scurry down the stairs. And before you there's clearly holding himself up high a young-looking elvish or perhaps half-elf man. You can see that he has these small gold earrings kind of hanging over his earlobes. He has these kind of oblong, elongated, hexagonal spectacles of sorts. His hair swooping down, up just out of his face and off to the side. Long, or not long, but medium-length brown hair. As he kind of steps forward, finds sharper features. You can see that he's dressed in what can best be described as a blackened suit with gold trim and all white gloves. Welcome.
What race?
Elvish.
Okay.
Perhaps I've gotten in between you and your next meeting. He looks around. How might you all be?
We are servants of Arundel.
Servants of who?
Arundel? You've not heard of Arundel?
He kind of gives you an up and down. Do you mean the Arundel as in the one who united the nations many years ago, the clans into the kingdoms as they are now? Is this the Arundel you speak of?
That is the Arundel I speak of. He's pretty important. Some would say even more than the Vindril dynasty.
This is a figure...
Please don't.
He smiles.
As he says that, Arlyn
Please take the
immediately
lead.
does
Sir, your name, please.
My name.
Yes,
It's Rodrick Elwood. Hard to forget.
Rodrick Elwood. And so I shan't. I
I mean, no disrespect at all.
suppose you don't, do you? Why did it come to your mind to present the Findril dynasty in what you said?
Because I just wanted to have something of great stature to compare it to, so that you understand the great importance of who we serve.
You intrigue me, Rodrick Elwood. What are you lot here for exactly?
We're here on assignment. We were
Assignment.
told to find a village in the forest by Arendor himself.
Do you take on outside assignment?
Yes. We just got back from one.
He looks around at each of you.
When he looks at me, I give him a Valewood salute. I just...
Clearly intrigued by you. My name is Evendil Valor. Perhaps a greeting from each of you is in order?
Hi, I'm Calagon.
I follow suit. Cleave. I'm Cleave. Cleave.
And your name?
My name is Arlyn. Dursalai.
Is that so?
It is.
Perhaps it is worth noting that I am an ambassador of the Vindril dynasty. And of this dynasty, there are few like me who trek out into these parts. Now, typically we come in search of different adventurers, of guilds, of parties of different renown. However, you come with interesting claims, each of you, and I would love to speak with you all further on the matters, if you so wouldn't mind. Now, I take it it's not myself that you're here to speak with, so I'll gladly step aside for the moment, but if you wouldn't mind, please do be careful as you speak with the guild master. You see, he was once Dreadforged. And if
He
you
was
know
once
better...
what?
Dreadforged.
Dreadforged.
Huh.
You familiar?
I'm not.
Perhaps without a proper arrangement I shan't give you too much information. However, I quite enjoy you lot.
Where should we find you if we ever choose to meet?
I take off at daybreak, however. Make sure you do not agree to anything just yet, as I'd like to propose a certain offering to you all. Please, and he kind of points to the very end of the hallway. Last room on the left. When you find time after your meeting, be sure to come speak with me. And again, please do not agree to anything with the Dreadforged just yet.
Sounds good.
Thank you all very much. I look quite forward to speaking with you all in greater detail.
Your
As for
name
now,
was again?
Evandil.
Evandil.
Evandil Valor.
Is that 2 words or one?
Evandil.
Evandil is a single word.
Okay.
Elvish in nature.
It's pretty. I mean,
you.
it's
Don't call another.
it's
It
majestic.
is acceptable. That's no concern.
It's a beautiful
Do not
name.
worry. Thank you. I appreciate it. As for the man that you all seek to meet with, have you met with him before?
This would be our first time.
Very well. He is unexpected. At least of his people. Good luck.
Thank you, Evandil.
Pleasure is mine entirely. And he starts to walk off down the hall towards his room. As you can see, the door is still creaked somewhat. And from behind it, you hear a voice. Come in. Welcome.
So I take the lead and hold on to the knob of the door and I creak it open.
As you creak the door open, you're met with low, duller, reddish kind of torchlight, and a man decked out in blackened leather. Kind of a messy mat of hair up top and a light shadow of a beard. And as he looks up from his desk that he's standing behind, you can see that his eyes are blackened with red at the center. And as he blinks, his eyes go normal, and you can see that they take on almost a kind of golden serpent-like shape. And he kind of scans over each of you, and he says, "Welcome to the waking dawn. I am an Iman of Dragos, and I have much to say to you all." And that's where we're going to close off for tonight.
All right.
Oh, snap.
About
Just
to get
a nice
interesting.
little-
It's
yeah.
getting interesting
I'm very
in
curious
this
'cause-
village.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done already that I didn't expect for a few of those meetings. So this is definitely very nice for me. This is cool. It took a lot slower paced turn than I'd expected of the desert sands and the hobgoblin pursuit and so on and so forth. So that's good.
I mean,
We've done a good job actually escaping enemies that we don't want to face. Like we've done pretty
Correct.
good at being like.
And that's also because I think we also realize that we don't know much of our power
Yeah.
and that
No,
we're
I'm just
quite
saying
weak.
It's worked. It's been surprising that it's worked so well for us.
Yes,
to
we
get
do it
away
in a
from
real
this.
creative
Yeah.
way
I-
too.
yeah,
How
for
strategic.
I will say,
I'm mad the heads in the sand didn't come, but
I will say,
Maybe one day we'll dig a hole, put
outs-
our bodies in the
listen, outside of the fighting the spiders, outside of the almost getting slaughtered by goblins, I have never felt more attacked.
no, it's perfectly fine. This man has done nothing to you.
You got
What do you mean?
exposed.
He's attacking you.
You got exposed.
He's perfectly tamed.
That was wild. That was so wild.
Rodrick
A
finds
rap
it.
battle.
That's the first time you'd had adversity when it comes
Yes,
to
I am
music and
so-
performance.
I'm doing a whole section on this when we do the podcast thing next week. I want to talk about this
I'm
at length.
so upset that we didn't see a rebuttal.
Right?
Like, I'm so upset.
Nah,
I kept
I
egging
like
it
it.
on, and David's looking at me like,
This-
I
this
don't
might
want
be
this to
podcast.
happen right now.
Or is
I
it
be
don't-
podcast information here, but I like it because I feel like, man, maybe this isn't where you wanted to go, but in my mind, if Rodrick likes big crowds, that's when he likes to do it. This dude's about to get served like way worse. If
In front of everybody.
If his level up is a crowd, then that's
Oh,
this guy's not gonna be
Can you imagine
expecting
the
it. He's
hype
gonna
of a crowd?
He's
just
gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know anything, and then it's like,
guys, we need to bring him to a tavern.
Let's do it.
Bring them
love
both
With
to a
that being
tavern.
said, we're going to take this one to a close for tonight. And of course, as always, we love you very much.
All right, Rowan.
Have a wonderful night. And God bless you all.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Hey guys, my name's Tristan. I just wanted to touch on something real quick tonight that I think kind of affects every single person at some point in our lives, but especially a lot of us younger adults. You see, we go in day out just searching for purpose, trying to figure out what exactly is my calling. What's the point of all of this? Why are we here? Why are we on this earth even? But more specifically, like, what is it that I am supposed to do? You know, people look for the perfect career, the perfect family, the perfect relationship, whatever that looks like for you. I can assure you that God's calling for you is a lot simpler than you may think. You see, God's will for us is that we live a quiet, peaceful, happy life, simply just loving God and loving people. Now, to kind of back that, as I encourage you all, I want to bring it to scripture, where in John 6:29, Jesus says, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent," which of course is Jesus himself. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Again, it starts with rejoice always. Just be happy. Now, I'm going to continue on with a few more here, where in John 6:38 it says, "This is the will of him who sent me, that I should lose nothing of all that he has given me, but raise it up on the last day. For this is the will of my Father." Because, of course, God wants to spend eternity with you, with every single one of us. It's not God's will that any of us should be apart from him. Now, 2 Thessalonians 4:3 says, "For this is the will of God, your sanctification." Now, of course, following God's will is a beautiful and freeing thing, and it's a lot less taxing than the will of the world, where we feel that we have to follow a certain career path until the very end, that we have to make a certain amount of money, that we have to hit certain milestones. No, instead, Proverbs 3:6 says, "Seek his will in all you do, and he will direct your paths." John 9:31, "If anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, God listens to him." And in 1 John 5:14, "This is the confidence that we have toward him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have the requests that we have asked of him." 1 John 2:17, "Those who do his will abide forever." Guys, it is God's will that we spend eternity together in perfect love and in perfect peace. So don't worry about the day-to-day. Don't worry about the career goals. Don't worry about the things of this world, because at the end of the day, it all passes away. But hey, you will continue on forever with God. And that is this week's Divine Inspiration.